You have no idea what is in store for today. This is the amazing Jennifer Diepstraten, one of my most favorite humans in the entire world, someone that I am so grateful for because selling is hard. We create all sorts of craziness in our brain when we're offering something amazing and stop ourselves from actually allowing our goodness to go out into the world because we're like human, right? But Jennifer is going to help us to see exactly how powerful you can be by making high ticket sales. So in sales, we've got discovery, we've got the actual sale, and then we have the delivery. But if you're not doing one of those pieces, your business will not grow, right? And Jennifer is going to be here today to answer our questions and to really show you how you can get out there and make high ticket sales. So awesome. You may have caught us on my business page where we did an interview over there, which was super amazing. And now today, this is a chance for you to be able to jump on camera with us live and ask your questions. I'm going to give you a little bio about Jennifer so that you can learn more about her. And then we're going to pull back the curtain and pick her amazing brain. Are you ready, Jennifer?
Yes, I am so ready. Oh my gosh. I feel like I just got a B12 shot from you, Molly.
All right, Jennifer, brace yourself because this is you. Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Jennifer Diepstraten has 20 years of experience in sales, relationship coaching, and communication studies. So she understands what it really takes to inspire people to take decisive action. So valuable. As a result of her expertise, she sold over 14 million in products in 10 years in corporate sales, working for world-leading multi-million, multi-billion dollar biotech and medical equipment companies. She left her highly lucrative corporate sales job to start her own business, teaching high-end sales and sales training to coaches. I'm so glad to have her as one of my coaches, trainers, healers, and niche service providers, or niche service providers, however you decide to take that. Her one-call blueprint consultation system enabled her to triple her fees in her own heart-centered entrepreneurial endeavor in less than 6 months and grow her sales coaching company to multi-six figures in less than 2 years. The system she's created and teaches her students has enabled her to create a lifestyle business that's allowed her husband to retire from his career in home construction and work full time with Jennifer. Her husband, Peter, is amazing too. Jennifer holds a, how do I read this word? Say it for me, biopsychology? No.
Yeah, you got it.
Is that right? Oh, the P in the middle for the psychology gets confusing in that word. Holds a biopsychology degree from Vassar College. I don't even think I knew that, even though I've read your bio before. And a master's of science in traditional Oriental medicine. What? Be prepared for your mind to be blown. I'm so excited. Okay, so we're going to jump into some questions. You guys can ask questions below, but also you can come on live with us. So right now, Jennifer, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share this link in our little post up so that people can actually click on it and join us live. Will, Amy, yay, we have so many people here. I'm so excited. Okay, and I never do this, but I'm going to add the link up above in the description because this, I just clicked the wrong link. Hold on. This actually allows you to bring people on live. This is a new aspect of FbLive.tv called Talk Show. And the way that it works is we have a little green room where people can join us. They hang out in the little green room. And then when we're ready, we can bring them in and they can actually pop on camera with us.
So cool.
Super cool, right?
So cool. I saw Hi Will. I saw his comment pop up. I don't know how you did that, but hey.
Hola, Will says yes. Totally awesome. So this is because of FbLive, the comments can pop up. Will, do you want to come on camera with us? It would be super fun if you wanted to. Kayla's here too. Yay. All right. So if you guys want to come on and ask your own questions, you can pop into click on the link up above, and then you'll be held in this little green room area. You have to be on desktop as of right now. And yeah, awesome. Will says, sure. Hello. Hey, Kayla. Hi, beautiful. Amazing. All right. So I'm going to start with some questions. If you guys would like to jump in, if you're watching this live, you can jump in. If you're watching us in the replay, we're not actually here right now, so you can't. But you can still get amazing value.
We are going to get serious about sales at some point, huh?
We're going to get serious about sales.
Very terribly serious.
We are.
Oh,
we
okay,
are.
Taylor says no link. No link. Shouldn't see a link.
What? It's in the, let me see. I'm just going to check on it really quickly. It should be, hey, Jean, if you refresh, because I just added it. So refresh your page, and the link is in the description above this video. I'll post it in the comments too, but sometimes if you're watching, it can be hard to click on the link if it's in the comments, but I'll do that also. Okay. Ta-da! All right, Jennifer, are you ready to get serious?
Ready.
Okay. So a lot of times, and I've dealt with it, this has come up for me, it's come up with my clients, it's come up with my friends. I've heard this happen all the time. When it comes time to raise your fees, because you know that you need to be, making a higher ticket offer, you know that you need to be up-leveling your business. One thing that happens is people often feel like they need to add more freebies, more things into their package. So how do you actually grasp the idea of raising your fees without giving away more time or more like freebies?
Yeah, that's such a good question. That's you, right?
I'm so excited to hear your answer about this. And then I have some thoughts about it too, because I do feel this way.
Well, and you've really done an amazing job of working through this material. I'm going to give you the snapshot view of what you have to do to be able to raise your fees. So what I want you to do first is think about what is the most expensive thing you sell. Okay, whatever that is, what is the price, right? You might want to jot that number down.
Okay, so everybody who's watching right now, you guys do this. Write the number, or write down what the most expensive thing that you sell is. Linda is here. She's going to join us in a second on camera too. You did not miss anything. We're just starting right now. So write down the thing that is your highest ticket offer right now.
Okay, and it's the thing that you've actually sold. All right, not just it's the thing you might have a $5,000 thing, but you've only ever sold it for $1,200. Write $1,200 down on the piece of paper as your current price. Okay. All right. So it's the price that somebody's actually paid for your most expensive thing. Okay. And now I want you to double the number and write that number down, the doubled number.
Okay. I'm trying to actually think of what I'm selling right now, what I've actually
Okay, well, I know what your number is.
I know you do. Yeah. Okay, like I don't have a pen, but I'm doing it in my head.
In your head. Okay, you can do it in your head too.
Yeah.
All right. So if I was to tell you you're going to make an offer for that much in a few hours from now, what would you say? What would you think?
Okay, can we bring Linda on and see what she thinks about this?
Uh-huh.
Because I have been working with your superpower magic, so I am surprised actually by what my answer is when I say that, but I would love to know from everybody else who's watching right now. Oh my gosh, I just made the screen disappear. What just happened? Shoot.
So while Molly's finding the screen,
well,
write it down.
Yeah, write it down. I'm actually having a problem. I think I need to refresh my screen because I can't get the chat to go away. Oh, there, wait, I figured it out. Oh, yeah. Okay, Linda, here you are. What?
Hello.
Okay, so Linda, this is awesome for you. So take the number of the biggest thing that you've sold and double it.
I did it.
Okay, and now if you knew you had to sell that within a couple of hours, how do you feel?
Deer in the headlights.
What are some of the thoughts that you have? Yeah, what are some of the thoughts you have as you're thinking about having to make that offer?
Okay, let me ask you the question though. Is it making the offer on the same thing doubled, or is it just, okay, gotcha. I have no problem with that. I've actually thought of more than doubling it already, so.
Uh-huh.
Oh
okay. Are we done here? No, I'm just teasing.
Well, let's double that. That's different then.
Double that. Okay. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay. So double that number. What are the thoughts that pop up about it?
Will people see the value in it? Will they think that it's worth that much? Now, I know it's worth that much, but will they think it?
Yes. Okay. Will they think it? What else?
Will I actually say it out loud? Like, am I thinking in my head, but will I actually like verbalize it and choke?
That's so true. Because when you're in the moment of like giving the new price, sometimes you're like, you know that it's going to be $50 million. And then you say, and it's $2.
Exactly. Like,
put it back in.
Or it's fun when you accidentally say a higher number than you were thinking. And you're like, where'd that come from? That's awesome. It doesn't happen that often, but.
Yes, yes. And so here's the next question. Why haven't you doubled it?
Well, I have more than doubled it in the last 9 months.
Awesome.
So I've been scaling, and it's like, okay, I had to sell one at that next level, which I've done. Now I'm going to the next level.
Okay. Okay.
So
and so
so I haven't put myself in to offer it to anybody. And that's, I've been like kind of hiding behind my computer. You want me to be real here, or do you want me to make up answers?
No, I mean, this is, I love it, because the thing is that we can feel the value inside and be like, it's totally worth it at the higher price point. And something is still there that it's not rolling off our tongues and people aren't saying yes, right? And it's that hidden piece that we want to pull out, is like, what am I thinking that I haven't actually done it? Because if it was obvious to do, you would have already done it. So we're just trying to find that nuance, because that's where most people get stopped, right? It's like, we just don't take the time really to look, well, what is that thought that's keeping me here? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, my thought is, so I've been going through a transition. I've been going through a perpetual transition for almost 2.5 years. And just this last week, I spent all of my time thinking about my why and really drilling down to it. And finally, 2 days ago, I was like, there it is. But it took me that many days to figure that out. So with all of that, I'm making a transition. And I haven't been, like Molly knows what I'm going through right now. And I haven't been in a position to even offer anything. I don't even know what my offer is yet. And because it's just been 2 days. So
Yeah. In fact, I've talked to a lot of people recently that they're shifting who their market is, or their ideal client, or they're transitioning. And so we just kind of put the pause on.
Yeah. And that's what I've done, which is so odd for me, because there's not a pause button for me. And I have, my coach has told me, you need to put a pause button on. You need to figure this out before you go any further, because I've been confusing myself and confusing other people for a long time, because I just wanted to keep going. Felt like I had to keep going, and do something and just be busy. And that's what I've been, is busy. Not doing anything, not being effective. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So I think what you said is, your situation, and it really mirrors for a lot of people things that could be in their head that get in the way of them asking for that higher price point. It's, well, I'm in the transition. I'm not really sure who the client is. I know I need to give more stuff away. I'm not really sure what my package is or how I'm going to deliver it. Like, there's a lot that what you said encapsulate for a lot of people all the stuff that's in the way of selling. Not just the higher price point, but selling, period.
Right. And also going through the head for me has been, well, what happens like if I get a package together and then I change my mind again? Because it has been a perpetual transition, literally for 2.5 years. I would go to networking events and say, hi, my name is Linda. I'm in perpetual transition, because I've been growing so much and learning so much and for the last couple of years, that I don't want to close it off and not have a potential of learning something more, because now I'm stuck in this, So it's been,
Ooh, you don't want to get stuck there. Ooh, that's so good. That's so juicy. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you for sharing all that.
And it's so, Jennifer, I think that like the very first time that I met you was actually on a call like this with Ashley Ryan, right? And Linda, I was in such a similar place at that point, where I was actually in a mastermind group, and I I said what I did and what I was planning on launching or whatever. And I remember Jennifer Dawn said to me, she was like, I have no idea what you do. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. And it can get frustrating because you think, it's like, oh, I've got it all figured out. And then when I say it out loud, people are like, what the hell do you do?
Yeah. So Jennifer, can you talk about your super secret QB thingamajig? Because when you did this for me, I literally was like, I just met you and you have changed my life in 2 seconds. And I want to throw all of my money that I have at you once I start.
It was 3 days, but it was 2 seconds and then it was 3 days. And then now we've been buddies for a while. We've been buddies for a while. Molly has been growing. Yeah, Molly's been growing at a seriously fast rate and just, delivering her value, which is so awesome. Okay, so thank you for sharing that, Linda. I love it. I'm going to speak to this in a broader sense because so many people have their individual thoughts, right? So yours might be, I'm in transition, or you might want to get stuck there. That might be not, I can't even talk. That might not be exactly the same thought someone else has. So if you're watching and you're not Linda, just jot down or think to yourself, what is your reason why that you haven't done it? Okay, because
you guys can write this in the comments below too. Like Amy's here, which is so good. Amy says, I love this conversation. Yay. And Jennifer or Jean is here. So you guys, if you're open to it, write it in the comments below, because I think the more that we share where we're at with this, the easier it is for us to move through it and to recognize that other people are feeling this way as well. Right? It's like a common, we all have our own stuff that blocks us from moving to that next step. So.
And I apologize for the outfit, but I just came from the gym and I had no idea I was going to be on TV.
No apologies.
But I'm ready to go. I don't care.
You look like you're ready. Like, game on, right? Okay. Right. So what I like to do is when I look at your value, so there 2 things have to happen in order for you to really sell your stuff consistently at a high ticket level. Okay. The first one is you've got to get the value of it, right? You've got to know that it's worth it, because we're high integrity people. We're not going to take money for something that we don't believe we can deliver. It's just not going to happen, right?
Dean, that totally ties into what you were saying. So true. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And so if there's any mushiness around the value, your belief in the value, your belief that you can deliver, the clarity of what you're actually promising for the money you're taking, if there's any mushiness there, we tend to not make offers. Okay, so I'm just going to put all of that whole idea, and I'm going to call it believing in the value. Okay, it's your relationship to the value you provide. Okay, the other thing that has to happen, which is so critical, is you have to be able to communicate to the other person what that value is, so they actually get it for themselves. Have you ever had people say, oh, I totally get the value. It's not that. It's just I don't want to do it right now. Right?
Yeah.
Because they get it conceptually, but they don't get it for themselves. Ooh. So you have to communicate the value and they have to get the value. Then they have to buy it. Right? So if the second thing is what I call communicating the value. It's not so simple as just telling them, hey, this is what's in it and this is how much it is and this is why I should buy it. It's actually making the concept, the words, the value go from your lips through it to their ears, right? It's across the airwaves to their ears and then into their head.
Well, and like into their heart. I feel like, honestly,
into their heart. It's the heart, yeah.
Having worked with you, everything that I learned in your first event that I went to, and then having worked with you this year, I was telling my husband this yesterday that I was working with, even though I'm not teaching voice lessons anymore, I taught a voice lesson last night, and I was working with a little kid, and I basically went through, and I've told you this before, but I went through your process of a sales conversation with my voice student in order to help her to understand that she is capable of hitting certain notes or doing certain things. And it's your sales conversation that has allowed me to be able to help a 10-year-old to be able to see her worth.
Awesome.
Which makes me cry. Like, I can't, And she is someone who's so amazing, and like a little kid. And I was like, this is the thing that adults go through as well. And she's always very like perfect and doing things right, and she got really emotional, like in a really sweet, amazing way at the end of it. And I was so grateful to you, Jennifer, because what you've taught me allows me to be able to connect with people at an even deeper level than I already do. So I'm just like, you're so amazing. But I think that your process for this, it not only allows us to make higher ticket offers, but it allows us to really let other people see their possibility.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you.
Well, and the funny thing is we call it a sales conversation. We've actually renamed it to be a strategy session because sales has such a negative connotation for most people. But what you could really think of it is a conversation to empower another person to take decisive action where they didn't see possibility before. That is what the conversation is that we're having. We are not talking about trying to get somebody to buy something or convincing them that your way is a better way. We are talking about having a conversation which is so powerful that you could change the life of a 10-year-old who didn't think they could sing.
It's crazy to me.
Right? And in the context of you have something which is an expertise, and you're speaking to a prospect who needs something like your expertise, maybe they're not totally sure. When you can have that powerful conversation with them, when your thing is the solution or it can solve their problem, a sale happens. A sale happens as a natural result of that empowering conversation.
Yes.
And I find it interesting because there's so many people selling the same thing, but why buy from me, right? Well, they buy from me because the emotional connection, this is what I believe, is that they have an emotional connection to me and they believe that I'm the one who can deliver what they need. And that's what makes us all unique, right? Is because we're all so different.
People, I'm talking about like 4 things all at the same time. So I will come back to that QB thing, Molly.
Okay. That's
our code word. No. It's code for. I'll share in a minute.
It's like super secret ninja trick that Jennifer has.
Yeah, awesome. It's really a process that I've developed over. I sold over $14 million worth of stuff in corporate. Scientists and doctors were my customers, and then I left and I became an entrepreneur. And I thought I could go into corporate sales training, or I could serve these people who want to change the world. One person at a time, right? It's like you're an expert, you're a coach, you're a consultant, and you've got such a brilliant gift that maybe you don't even see what it is. Mm-hmm. And because you have to be the seller and the deliverer and the owner of your company and direct the team and in charge of finance, it gets so murky that sometimes we never end up getting to the sales part, or we don't do it very much, and then it's just a hobby. So if you want to, which is fine, but if you want to make money in your business, and I believe that, I think if you have an expertise, get paid and get paid a lot.
I'm ready.
And do it because of, not just because it's what pays the bills and all of that stuff, which and lifestyle, which is all great, but because it signifies, it's almost like, it signifies to other people that you value you and your work in them. Because you're saying, you know what, this is worth it. When you invest and you invest at this high ticket price, it's because you're worth it. You owe it to yourself to invest at that level. Let me be your partner in allowing you to invest in your own growth. And I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way.
Right. Love it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Try to put that into words. You value your clients and their investment in themselves.
It is.
By charging more, because when they are paying more, they're investing more money in their own growth and their own self-improvement, right?
It does. Yeah. And there's nothing like a big ticket item to have people take notice. Right? I mean,
and to have people show up. Like I mean, that's, when I've invested in larger programs like that, and at times, it's like I knew I didn't actually have the capability to do it. I was going to have to make some sort of magic happen. But those moments when I have made that investment are the times when I really decided, like you said, it's when you decide and you step up. And Ronald says when people pay, they pay attention. Totally.
Yeah. Yes. So I think Molly, you should share for a second about some of your shifts in your pricing.
Okay.
Do you mind? I'm kind of calling you out, but you don't have to give details if you don't want to. But
whatever.
I think it's so important to show, because you all love Molly, and Molly has this incredible gift, and she didn't see it, and now she's starting to get it. And actually, it's not just the pricing that's gone up, but I think your level of service has gone up for the people that need that level of service.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I think one of the biggest things that happened is that when I did start offering private coach, both private coaching and my course at like a higher level, what I did is that I put more priority on that. So I was able to cut other things out and really serve the people who really needed it at a higher level, because I had recognized it on the monetary side, but it also forced me to be like, no, this is actually what I'm doing. This is actually who I'm serving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
one of the benefits of a higher price point is you get more time. You actually, because you're thinking about your clients anyway, you might as well say, I'm actually going to be thinking about you when I'm on my walk this afternoon, and I would like to have the freedom and not feel pressed for time because I've got 50 other things on my to-do list so I can make another sale. I actually have carved out the space and time to do that because I'm being well paid for it, because you're going to do it anyway. So do it better.
Right. And do it like in a fuller, and that's what I was talking to Linda about this last night, actually, as we were talking about private. She and I were messaging at late o'clock last night about, longer term, higher ticket private client agreements, and how it's not just the hour that you're spending with that client. It's the time that you're spending first thing in the morning when you think about them, last thing at night when you think about them, and how you're really investing your energy in supporting that other person. So to get like really nitty gritty about it, I attended Jennifer's event last year that she had, and it was totally life-changing for me. I had been at a point where I had just worked myself so hard that and I've told this story before, but I literally had worked myself to a point of actually throwing up because I was so tired and I was so overworked. And being there at Jennifer's event, where I was able to, it was not only about the sales conversation, but also about the life piece. So the fact that you have this experience, traditional medicine and all of that, and she doesn't talk about this all that much, but she was a relationship coach for a little while too. And so
there's always a relationship coach. I just had it officially as a business for a while.
So it's like a holistic approach to high ticket sales. And I think for the first time, you helped me to see how the other event that I attended was called Feel Great Selling, but you actually helped me to see how I could feel great selling, and which is amazing. So so after attending this event, I ended up signing up for Jennifer's program, and I had already done all of this work at the event. Like, when you go to events and you just get sold to the whole time and you don't actually feel like you get any actual breakthroughs. It's just like little hints of things. It was not like that at all. I left there with a full plan of like how to make this next thing happen. But one of the things I was going to do is I was going to launch this group program. I'm going to give like full on numbers right now. So I was going to launch this group program. I don't even remember. Maybe we were going to meet every other week or something, Jennifer. I can't remember. But it was going to be 4 people in a group for $300 a person. And Jennifer said, "You're not doing this." I was like, what? And this is our very first call as a part of our year-long commitment together as partners in life. And I was like, wait, what? I'm not? And she's like, no. She said, you have your course. By launching this group program, it's going to undercut your course because you're already giving so much value in that program. She said, I want you to stop this, and I want you to offer a program that is 3 months long for $5,000, and that's all you're offering. And I was like, wait, what? So I went from at the time, this was several months ago. So I went from an offer of $300 for however long it was going to be to $5,000. And she was like, and you're only going to meet with them every other week. And this is what's going to happen. It's like, whatever. So to $5,000 within 1 week, because Jennifer helped me to see the actual transformation that I was providing, the actual value that I was providing, and had given me this amazing blueprint for how I could have this conversation. I sold 2 of them.
Awesome.
So you get that from $300 to $5,000, and she sold 2 within a week. Now and I think what you said, Molly, is so important because you can do that in your head but it's not real until
Right.
you see it. So I could have told you that all day long, but what happened was in the conversation that we had, you actually saw it and you were able to perform it. And so lots of people there actually have the same story.
It's crazy. So then I was able to deliver that. And I've had many people join that program and have amazing results from that program. So then after being able to deliver that and see the value that they were achieving, and then realizing, like, one of the things that I think has been the biggest shift for me in all of this is that more time doesn't mean more value.
Giving more time.
Yes. Giving. And for me, if something was going to require that I had to be on a coaching call every week for an hour, that would stress me out, right? Because I'm in a place where I'm in action. I just need that little bit of like tweaking or the support in between. And so now I'm at a point where I've elongated my program. It's a higher price than it was before. I've sold that, and I know that I'm providing amazing value because you've helped me to orchestrate it in a way where it's the value is easily communicated to the people who I'm serving.
Hot stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, can I say something right now?
Life changing. Yeah. Yes.
So for anyone who is interested in having this sort of transformation, we're going to ask more questions. We have Jennifer here for another 25 minutes, which is so amazing. So anybody can come on. If you click on the link that's in the description above this video, if you're on a computer, you can jump in with us. We'll kick Linda out for a second. You can come in.
Bye. Thank you, Jennifer. It was awesome.
But you can come back on too. It's super cool.
Okay.
Transition people in and out. But if you guys want, Jennifer actually has another event coming up. I have a link, and she's given us a crazy discount that she's not offering anywhere else. So if you've already purchased a ticket to this event through my link, she's going to actually gift you an even further discount, which I think is amazing. So I'm going to post that link in the description, or actually just comment below if you're interested, and I'll make sure that I reach out to you and get you all the information so that you can be there with us in San Diego, and that you can go from, what is that? What's the math on that? From $300 to $5,000? What's the math? Oh,
a lot.
I don't even know, but it's a lot. 10, 12 times
15,
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
13 and a half times.
13.381.
That's not my specialty. I count on her for that. Okay, Will just said Will had jumped on camera and he jumped away. Will, you got scared. So Will, come back in. He said, will there be double audio? So yes, if you come on, once I bring you in, it will be like the radio where you're listening to the audio somewhere else. So if you do come on, turn your volume on your Facebook page down when we bring you in. And then Melissa, Jean, yay, awesome. I'll get you the information. And I'll make sure I'll post it in the link up above. But for right now, comment and I'll get it to you right away. Okay.
And don't forget to bring up the QB.
Okay, I know that's for you, Linda. That's like, she's like, what? Well, what is the QB? Okay.
Okay, so let's switch out Linda and Will, and then we'll go into QB. Okay,
cool.
Okay.
Hi, Linda.
Thank you.
No, I'm confused. There, I got it. Okay.
I love how bold you are, trying all the tech stuff first so that we don't have to try to figure it out. Thank you, Molly Mahoney, for being that person.
Welcome. This is Will.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Molly.
Hi.
My lighting is terrible. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Hey, Will, you know what? We can just go there right now. Mine is all crazy right now also. And maybe we can like a little bit. I don't know. We got colors in here. What? How about that?
Oh, you're warm.
I have a white stripe down my middle here.
Oh yeah, that's why, because we only see that part of you on camera.
Oh, seriously, you're not seeing anything but my head?
No,
let me zoom out a little bit.
We're all about that close though, don't worry. It's okay.
I didn't know that. Hi guys, I'm really close to the camera.
I'll do that. Hi. Okay.
All right, let me back up a little bit. There we go.
Get comfortable.
I didn't realize.
Will, scooch to your right a little bit. Perfect. Amazing. Okay, awesome.
How funny is that? I didn't know.
It's weird because I have I call it a porn light, but my little light box there. I don't know why it looks like that, but
it looks like it's only on one side. You got to turn towards it a little bit, maybe.
That's probably the window. All right. Well,
whatever. We're here. We have audio. You're here. You're amazing. Can we talk quantum benefits, Jennifer?
Yeah, we can. All right. So where we are is, just to recap. All right. So to be able to sell at a higher price point, two things. You got to feel, believe, know, be certain about the value that you offer. And then you've got, oh, you can't see my hands, the certain about the offer. And then you've got to be able to communicate it to the other person so that they get it and they buy it, right? So one is internal, sort of an inner relationship, and the other is external. It's an outer relationship. It's how you communicate things, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about how do you actually raise your price point without giving away more time or more free stuff. So what you can do is you can either give away more stuff. Like if you want to double your price, you can think, okay, well, I have to work for this many more hours and I have to do more things. Maybe I'll go over to their house and do their laundry.
Will does in his business, actually. Can we talk about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, just so you know, I just changed our view. So now I can see your full screen. I changed it because I'm magical and I have the capabilities to do magical things. But so Will, tell us a little bit about what you do and we can apply it to what you offer in your business.
Excellent. So my core business is I own a travel agency, but I specialize in destination weddings. So I work very closely with the brides that are getting married, usually at all-inclusive resorts all over the world. And I basically just help them everything from choosing the destination. You know, we have it. I don't call it a strategy session. It's a consultation. It's a complimentary consultation that we do for an hour. And basically, I just help them understand the process. You know, it's not just, a group. It's not just a resort. I help them understand the entire concept. And then I help them plan the events, choose a resort, and book their their guests to the wedding itself.
Okay.
So I am like their A to Z plus, like the only person that they work even before they know where they want to get married. Or, you know, they think they want St. Lucia, but their budget doesn't allow for that. So I do all of that stuff.
Okay. So, Will, there's other people that do destination weddings and travel agent type stuff, right?
Yeah.
In your market, tons?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is one thing that you feel like is really special about how you do this work that probably other people don't do or don't do it very well?
Is it bad if I know several stuff that I do that others don't?
Yeah, no, it's great actually. So give me a couple, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to demonstrate with Will this quantum benefits, the QB. There's the word, the QB process, and then I'm going to explain it, sort of the concept of it. So we're actually going to show it first. All right, a little tiny piece of it because it takes longer than 5 minutes, but we're going to just touch the tip of the iceberg. So Will, tell me what's special about what you do.
Sounds good. And I do know that for a fact because I am very well connected in the industry and I coach other agents that are just trying to break into the niche. I think the biggest thing is that I truly specialize in the concept of being a destination wedding expert and not just a travel agent who books that. What I mean by that is a lot of the agents that are doing what I do, or booking destination weddings, I should say, they basically just take care of booking the actual hotel. Like they focus on the hotel and the price point. I take it a step further. I became a certified wedding planner. So I actually take it a step further and bring it and combine everything from the travel aspect of it and the event aspect of it, plus the one-on-one hand-holding. And I do that, number one, by my consultation. I do not book anyone anymore that doesn't go through my process of my, complimentary consultation to understand if we are a good fit. And number two, I implement a lot of technology into it, which is why I love Molly and everything that she has to offer. I've created systems where, I have checklists that are interactive on boards that we can collaborate together on a one-on-one level, even when we're not talking. 99% of the agents out there, the ones I mentor and the ones I'm just connected with in conferences, are not doing this because they're afraid of technology, because they don't know how to, or because they just want to be a travel agent. Nothing wrong with that, but I offer a lot more than that.
Okay. So you actually have like 5 things all in there, all wrapped up into one thing. So let's the one that I'm interested in for this purpose right now is, tell me about the hand holding part. Because wedding planners will tell you that they hold your hand.
Right.
Tell me about what's so special about how you handhold people, not from a tech point of view, but the benefit. Like, what does the person whose hand is getting hold get from you that they probably can't get anywhere else?
Well, the attention to detail that I do when I'm hand holding them is not just here is this checklist for you to do it. I am truthfully basically doing a lot of one-on-one, sometimes a little bit too much. So they have direct access to me.
Okay, give me an example of what direct one-on-one really is. Like, what would I be asking you and what would you be saying back to me that means that you're telling me direct one-on-one? Like, what is that?
To be honest, essentially anything about wedding planning. I also have my own destination wedding recently, so I've been doing this for a few years and I know the ins and outs. Most importantly, I know very well the hotels that I work with. So let me just give you an example of that. Budget is a big aspect of that. A lot of people, they get engaged, they have this amazing wedding dream that they want, and the wedding is going to cost them $25,000 if they just start throwing money, left or right. I can come in and by the one-on-one contact, instead of giving you 3 packages that the hotel offers during my consultation, I understand that what you want may not be as grand or can be done differently, let's say a la carte from what they offer, and I can help you customize that to save thousands of dollars. The other thing is the negotiation abilities that I have from my former banking career. Again, when clients come in, they don't know what it means to bring 50 people to a resort, right? I have preferred suppliers and I have the knowledge to explain to them the different type of contracts that we can do, and based on their needs or the dynamic of their group, which one fits best to give them more money. It's kind of like a rebate, but it's not a rebate.
Okay. So pause. So there is a mistake that people make in your industry when it comes to helping people customize. I just want to drill down in this one little narrow area. And the reason I'm doing this is because I believe that when we connect with the value of this particular that we're drilling down into,
okay,
that you're going to see your value expand.
Okay. I feel like we're getting a little digital.
So you do the same in showing help. So we're going to drill down into the one aspect of what you do, which is this hand-holding part.
Okay.
So when you're doing the customizing, what's the mistake that other people in your industry are doing, which ends up, when you do it so much better? What's the mistake? Or what's the mistake that the wedding couple could make if you weren't there customizing the hotel package?
Well, the biggest mistake that they could make and that they often make is leaving money on the table, honestly. Okay,
like what?
Again, you bring 50 people to a hotel if you do it direct, or you think you're doing the best for your guests because they're going to pay $5 less doing it on their own. You don't get the comps that the hotel offers through us.
Like what?
On average, I'm talking about $2,000 to $4,000 that I get back for my brides after the wedding is over.
Because
of my negotiation and my contracts and my connections and all that stuff. It basically comes down to the contract.
Okay, so they get $2,000 to $4,000 back after the wedding because there's some comps that you know about that they don't know about?
Yes, there are comps that come via because of the contract that we do with the hotel. If you bring the same amount of people to the hotel that I'm bringing as a group under the right contract, because even contracts that are different kinds, if I bring it under the right contract, you would not get any money back. But with me, you're guaranteed basically to get money back. I can't guarantee the amount, but you are getting money back.
Okay. So this is so great because what we're doing is we were talking about how do you expand your relationship to your own value so you can charge a higher price point, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna guess that this one aspect of knowing what the comps are and how to negotiate with the hotel is one teeny tiny piece of holding their hand.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, because that's usually, although it's big, it's only at the beginning. After that, they never see that again until they get the money back a year, after the wedding.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of other things they're holding their hand on in between, right?
Right.
So what we could say is Will is going to hold your hand for your destination wedding, which is a very general statement, right? I'm going to hold every wedding planner is going to tell you they hold your hand, right? But what I do, I'm going to pretend I'm Will. What I do is I know so many details and have so much leverage because this is what I do for brides and grooms, and I have contacts at these hotels, that one of the things I can do for you is in this process of come back, I'll actually look through them, customize them so that you get exactly what you want, no less, no more, and you end up getting money back at the end because I understand how to ask for the right comps. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of my hand-holding process. Then there's the this and the that and the this and the that. You like?
Exactly.
So Will's doing, does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, so the hand-holding, what I want you to see here is that the hand-holding idea is one piece of an awesome, awesome, awesome value you provide. You also have other things that we haven't touched on, which is like the checklist. They have to give them that they should bring in, right? There's a lot of things that you're doing that if we were to flesh them out fully, people would say, oh my gosh, he really, really, really knows what he's doing, and nobody does it the way he does.
I love it. I think the thing that is the best about really dissecting all of these things, all of these benefits, is that as even like Will coming in and knowing that you know what makes you unique, when we're explaining what makes us unique in our business, we are it. So it's like, it's so easy for us to just be like, yeah, I know more because I do blah, 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 blah. But within the blah, 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 there's so many little pieces that if we could separate them and highlight them, it makes them more tangible for our clients to be able to understand.
Right. And so we tend to go a little fast saying, I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to customize these things for you. But it doesn't communicate to the buyer until you get more specific. So I could say, hey, I'm really great at sales coaching. And you go, okay, that's cool. But if I say to you, look, I know how to help you because you'll know exactly what to say and when to say it. So your ideal client says yes. And it communicates really clearly to them. And they have to buy from you because they're compelled. That of specificity, which is much more compelling than, oh, I'm a good sales coach. Do you get that? So it's the level. So when you can go broad and then pull into a detail and then go broad and pull into a detail like this, I'm doing an event right now. Like I'm planning an event, right? For that Molly was talking about, the one that's coming up at the end of April. So I know what you're talking about. I've never done a destination wedding, but I might think to myself, hey, there's actually 12 things on my list that I negotiate with the hotel. And if you didn't know this, if you didn't know the ins and outs, you might not think to ask for them. But you know what I get at every event I go to that I host? I get a couples massage comped for me and my husband.
Nice.
And they never offer it, but because I know to ask, I get that for myself. Absolutely. Right? So if you give an example like that, all of a sudden the bride's like, what? How many other things are there that you could be getting for her that she doesn't know about?
Yes, Kelly says she's so excited for the event. Yahoo, me too. Hooray.
Yeah. So let's talk about the quantum benefits, the analogy of it. So what we're saying here is that here's the best thing, the best way I can explain it. Imagine I have a pile of toys in my living room. Okay. Now I have three sons. So I do have a pile of toys in my living room. All right. So imagine I took them out and I put them on my driveway for a garage sale. And I look at my pile of toys and I think, oh, I don't know, they're probably worth about $200, right? That's your current pricing. Because look, there's fun things you could do with it. They're all kind of toys for little boys. Really great. There's a certain amount of benefits associated with that pile, right? But then I do this quantum benefits process and I see, oh my gosh, there's Legos in here, and I start pulling out all the Legos, and I really get articulate about what's the benefit of those Legos. And I make this big pile, and then I see dinosaurs and rocks and trees. So I pull those Wheels cars and Hot Wheels trucks, and I put those in a pile, and I keep going until suddenly I've got 5 piles of toys, each worth $200. Each pile alone is worth $200. So suddenly my value has expanded from 200 to 1,000 because I actually really have dialed in the language to talk about each pile. Okay, so that's what we're doing with you, Will. That's why we spent some time diving into, and we barely touched the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg on this, right? I know that if we got into that you go through, and there's lists of things that you look for, and there's things that you do all along the way to hold their hand, like make sure that you're vetting the photographer and the flower person, and like you shouldn't use the satin table napkins, you should use the linen ones because the satin ones wrinkle, like all that. I'm totally making this up, but I know stuff like that. So if you can pull a couple of examples, suddenly it's like, wait, he knows those details? I never heard of that before. And it makes your expertise expand.
So Jennifer, how can everyone who's watching, how can they make sure that when they're explaining these things, that they're explaining it in a language that their client understands? Because so often I find that we, in our own industry, we use words that are normal in our industry, but maybe not necessarily the language that our clients would grasp.
Okay, so I have a formula for this. Okay, I like to, and I've actually been demonstrating it this entire call, this entire conversation. Okay, I like to use very plain English combined with a very kind of esoteric or juicy term, combined with an example story.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, explain.
So I would say, hey, if I was Will, I might say, hey, bride, remember earlier when you said you want our destination wedding and you weren't really sure how to negotiate with the hotels? Well, that's what I help people with.
So when you said that, Jennifer, you're taking the actual words that your client said in this consultation or strategy call or whatever it is.
You have to use their exact words. And when I'm making the offer, it's, hey, remember earlier when you said da 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 da. Like you fill in the words with you fill in that blank with their exact words. So you have to take some notes because different words have different meanings for different people. So if I'm a productivity coach and I say, hey, remember earlier when in the beginning of the consultation, I'm asking you questions, right? And say my problem is, I don't feel like I have time left at the end of the day, right? But then as a productivity coach, I say, hey, remember earlier when you said you felt overwhelmed? That's what I help people with. I'm not buying from you.
Yes.
And you as the seller have no idea what you said. You have no idea why, but I'm not going to buy from you. And do you know why? Because I never said I felt overwhelmed. I said I felt like I didn't have enough time left at the end of the day. So you just put words in my mouth. And if I have a negative relationship to the word overwhelm, now I'm repelled. And as the seller, you have no clue why. So do yourself a favor and put the exact words that they used in that sentence. Okay.
That is hugely valuable and also so important when writing copy and stuff as well, right?
You have to. I mean, that's why copywriters, if they're good, I mean, to get really good at copywriting, you have to listen to how your people are talking about their problem. So remember earlier when you said, fill in the blank with exactly what they said. That's what I help people with. And then you can take a couple of sentences to explain how you do it, give specific examples, and then you probably want to name it. Like I have this thing called the quantum benefits process. So what I do is, remember earlier when you said you had a hard time getting the words out of your mouth at the higher price point? Linda? Actually, I don't know if that's exactly her words, so I didn't write it down. Bad me, right? But that's what I help people with. See, what I do is I help you know what to say and when to say it so your ideal client says yes, and so that you can relate to your own value, even though you might be changing things because we don't want you to get stuck. And the way I do that...
Said that you're in a place of transition, so you don't know exactly how to describe your value to someone else. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't want to get stuck by selling this thing because I'm going to change again.
Yes.
That's what I help you with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how do you know which questions to ask someone? Because I mean, before coming to you, I had been taught how to have a call like this, but it never made as much sense as when you explained it to me. So how do you know which questions to ask?
How do you know which questions to ask? Okay, so what you want to do is you want to know what are your quantum benefits. And I call them quantum. So Will, we did one, we barely touched on one for you, but every person has 4 or 5 particular benefits, which are quantum, like my piles of toys. And they're quantum because they're not just regular benefits. They're the benefits where if the buyer just got one of them, it would be worth the entire price of admission. Okay, that's why they're quantum. You have to do the work to see what is that one benefit that if they just had that one thing, it would be worth the entire price of your package. That's why they're quantum. Because then when you make the offer, they're like, oh my gosh, it's only $5,000 for that. And I get all these other things too. Oh my gosh, how fast can I get my checkbook out? Right?
Here, Will had a question. Will, what was your question about that?
No, I was gonna let her finish. Go ahead.
Okay. So once you see what those piles of toys are, then you need to design questions that lead to those piles of toys. All right. So you'd ask things like, well, how is it going with the hotel negotiations? What exactly have you got them to comp you? And I'm the bride, and I'm like,
what?
What? It's because I don't even know that's something to ask. So do you see how great that is? Because now I'm like, he must know something I don't know. I haven't asked about any comps. And then when you get to the end and you say, remember earlier when you said you were worried about spending too much money? Well, that's what I help you with. One of the things I do is I help you know what things to get the hotel to comp you. Oh,
but you see how if you started in the beginning by saying, well, I help you to get comps, they might not realize that actually helps to save them money. Like if the problem is I need to save money, and you're like, if you don't do that, like that process, that way, that pathway, then they're not going to be able to connect their need to your value.
Right. So you actually have to ask questions rather than tell. So for everything that you want to tell someone that is a benefit, design questions that help them to recognize for themselves that they don't know it or to get where they're at. Because if you say, well, tell me about the hotel negotiation things, and tell me about the comps that you've gotten from the hotel, and tell me about what kind of packages you're going to get because you're bringing 50 people to the hotel. I can't answer those questions. But if I tell you, hey, I'm going to get you some comps, it's like, cool, but it doesn't have nearly the same impact as if I'm sitting there thinking about the answer to your question.
Yes.
And then that's where like your client is discovering the value and the need throughout the conversation as well, and the possibility. So that's where I find that it actually takes us out of the feeling icky while selling, because you're actually helping them to recognize the possibility. So Linda says all of a sudden you have sent them into overwhelm, so they see how valuable you are.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. And that was gonna be my question a little bit ago. That as we're talking here, I'm realizing that my weakness is in the copy, and that's like how when you were talking about like doubling the price for the package and whatnot. It really is like I believe and know 100% that what I'm offering is worth 5 times that. And usually, anytime a bride goes into a consultation with me, I end up closing 9 out of 10 because I can talk, we can talk and I can answer those questions, and, they can ask questions from the misconceptions that they have read, or, maybe they talk to another agent, and then I can show them that I know, with those questions that you were talking about. But the copy itself is what I can improve to ask those things before they get to the call or to get to the call.
Yes, we have a whole process for having people get the value so that they come into your office and they're 90% of the way sold. And Will, I mean, you're already a good talker. Like, you're already very articulate and very clear about what it is that you offer.
And so charming.
And so charming. And that's how Molly, that's how you were when I first met you last year at Feel Great Selling. Is she already had a really great set of things that she knew were her benefits. And the little fine tuning is what really exploded her business.
And also recognizing that, like, yes, I'm able to explain, like, helping people to be confident or whatever. I knew I was good at explaining that, but explaining it to a set of people who were able to use that confidence to make massive change so that I could up-level the offer and provide a even bigger transformation. That is like what's super cool. So Will, if you're closing your sales or whatever you call them at, your contracts at 9 out of 10, awesome. But like, what if you could word it in a way where you're actually providing a higher transformation? You're not adding anything else from yourself, but you're explaining it in a way that allows your client to step into a higher power and have an even more memorable, amazing wedding. And then you could actually charge more for it because you're recognizing the value. What would happen then?
I'm ready.
Right?
Totally. I mean, when you're closing 9 out of 10, it's really awesome. Yay. And it's really time to take a look at what can I do, because I probably should charge more, right? It creates a more sustainable business.
For sure.
And then you actually can provide more to your clients because you have more time to dedicate to them from when you're like already, So every all around, it provides a higher, greater value and good to the world, Mm-hmm. Ooh, Linda says more than just a wedding planner, but a life shifter. Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
See, I call it in my website copy. I called it, like, going along with that quote. I called it like planning with me is like planning with like your virtual man of honor.
Oh yeah.
Truly, like, my clients are truly special to me, and like they probably don't pay a penny compared of what I'm worth, but yeah. So, anyways.
At my wedding, we called the male, because I had guys on my side, and my sister came up with this. We called them bride squires.
Oh, bride squires. Well, and my sense from you, Will, and we don't have time to get into the more detail of this, but my sense from you is that there is something really special about you that has not been even touched on yet in this conversation about how you support, probably from an emotional level or something like that. It shows up in print as logistics and coordination,
okay.
But there is some essence of you that really, man of honor, helps people go through this process, and we haven't even touched it.
Yeah.
Do you feel it? I mean, that's what I'm getting from listening to how you talk about them.
Yeah.
We want to find out what that is and put it into words that will separate you from everybody else.
And that's you're so good at that, Jennifer. I love it. But Will, totally. So dig in.
Awesome.
And then fly to San Diego in 3 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're ready for the next price point, you should come to San Diego and come to our event. Yeah, because that's what we're going to do there is at the end of the event, you'll be the new price point. It's not just, someday I'm going to raise my price, but you'll actually see how to do that. And that will be the new number. And that's my intention for every person who is there, is that whatever that new number is, you walk out of there and you're like, oh, that's my new number. It's done. And the next offer you make, it rolls out of your mouth. And it's like, it's as obvious at the new price as it is at the current price.
Nice.
I love it. Okay, Jennifer, I know we're at our time. Do we have like 5 more minutes? Do you have that? If we, okay.
I can hang out with you all day. No, but let's do like 5 or 10 more minutes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Can we, I'm going to switch Linda and Will, and I actually have a question that I'm going to ask out of what Linda said that I know would help some other people who are here watching right now, if that's okay.
Yeah, ask me. Okay. I'm here for you.
Will, you're amazing. I'm going to send you away. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, here comes Linda. Woo! Okay, so Linda mentioned that she was in
new hat.
I know.
Costume change.
Hats are part of Linda's quesadilla of awesome, by the way.
Yes.
So Linda was mentioning that she's in transition, and she said, I'm sad that I'm in transition because I could have had this amazing drill down if I knew what I was doing. But I think that this amazing drill down can actually help you to discover what your offer should be. Right?
And yeah. And yeah, because you made a comment about that in the comments, and I listened. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually the perfect place to be, because I'm starting and I don't have to like rechange everything. and trying to figure it out in my head. Like, I'm starting from zero. You can't go anywhere but up. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Right? Okay, so I have two questions to finish this out. One is, Jennifer, do you have any tips for people who are not exactly sure what they're offering? Either they're switching into a new space, which is where I was when I came to you, and or they're like getting ready to launch a new business, which I know we have some people here who are doing that as well. And then can you finish us out with letting us know like what mistakes we should avoid? So those are my two questions to finish us out.
Yeah. So if you're in transition or starting anew, Linda, I think you just saw it, right? Is that you have this opportunity because it's fresh. And what I would say is, here's the day, go in 3 weeks to the Millionaire Sales Mindset event.
Of course.
And really, I'm laughing, but I'm serious, because one of the things that we want to get in touch with, deliver into the world. That's why we're changing, right? Because there's something that we want to do that's bigger or better or more or different, right? So we want to connect with what that is, and it takes some. Let's say I have a system or a structure that we do that in, so you can connect with what that is. The reason most of us don't connect to it is because it seems there's all of these other kind of world external things that get in the way. But when you can connect with what that really is, and you see, oh wait, if I just let it out a little bit, it actually the passion starts to grow, and all of the things that seem hard about turning it into a business start to fade away. So what's a great example of this? A great example is Diane, my client Diane. When I met her, this is her example. She said, when I met her, she had this organizing business. She's an amazing professional organizer. And she said, I want to get my professional organizing business going so that I can do what I really want to do, which is have these retreats. And whenever somebody says to me, so I can do what I really want to do, I know that the thing that they really need to be doing is that thing. But something about the way we see it keeps us from actually pursuing it. That's what we do at the Millionaire Sales Mindset, is you actually connect with that, what that really is, so you can let it out and not have anything get in the way. Is that making sense? Is that helping, Linda? Is that landing? Am I answering a question?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny you mentioned that, because I've been going through this transition, figuring out my why, and finally drilled it down. I was like, I've been doing this thing for 3 years every day. Why am I not doing it? Because I love it so much. And I literally, it's doing live video. I've done over 1,000 live videos in less than a year. And
oh my gosh.
I love it so much. I literally say I could just have paparazzi follow me everywhere, because that would be fine with me, because that way I can just do everything by video, So that's my epiphany, is that I should be doing that, because to me it's not obvious as a business, because I love it so much. Right? The passion is there.
So good.
Yes.
That's it. So for you, when it's not obvious for me because I love it so much, that's the thing. That's the thing. Right? My thing is, I love teaching people how to sell, and I do it so naturally all the time that I didn't think it was a business either until people were demanding that they pay me to tell them stuff. I'm like, everybody knows this, don't they? No, they don't. Right? So, it's so much easier to grow your business from the thing that's easy. There's just something in our head that we have to make it be, that it can't be that easy. Oh, no, yes, it is. It really is. It's just
crazy how we complicate it.
Yes. Yeah.
And one of the other things that I know you're going to address at the event, I think, right, is this. Can you just? I'm sorry, I'm adding another question. Can you talk a little bit about the buying signals things, like objections, like? So she's able to, I'm just going to say it really quickly, but Jennifer has helped us in our program, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about this at the event, maybe not, but when you have those objections come up from your client, your ideal client, or the person that you're speaking to, a lot of times it's you creating that in your own head. And really it's a signal that they're giving you that they want to purchase. And we stop ourselves because we're weird humans.
Right. If somebody says to you, hey, sounds great, let me get back to you. What happens in our own head is, oh my gosh, what do I do now? I've got to figure out a way to get this person to decide now and say yes, right? And it's in the old school of sales training, it's called overcoming objections, and people are still training all over the map on this thing called overcoming objections. The problem is that as soon as we hear this so-called objection and we start trying to overcome it, think about the language. I'm going to overcome an objection. I'm going to overcome an objection, meaning my way is better than your way. I've got to convince you to see it my way. And as soon as that happens, all of that rapport and relationship and trust, it's gone. Now you're in this adversarial relationship. So if you can stop, it's an automatic response that we have when we hear a so-called objection. We're going to actually master that at the training, Molly, so you don't ever hear objections again. They're just, I never get objections. They don't happen. So what is that? So it's a different space to hear people and to be with people in. And if you stop trying to overcome objections, you will sell probably 25% more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Yeah.
So good.
I guess, yeah, because when you have an objection, as you perceive as an objection, your first thing to do is to go on the defense.
Exactly. Or here it is personal. It's like, wow, I really don't see the value in that.
Yeah.
What? But
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with you. What they're really saying is, show me the value. I'm not getting it. That's what they're really saying.
That's so cool.
If they didn't want to do business with you, they would have already hung up.
Yeah.
Right? Or they wouldn't have gone on the call in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, Jennifer, I'm going to let you finish out with whatever you want to finish out with.
Okay, I know I didn't answer
sure?
one of your questions.
I
That was a
asked
mistake.
mistakes, but I mean, I know we're now going on a lot of time. So if you want to talk about the mistakes, I would love it. If you want to finish out with something else, you are Yoda.
Here's the mistake. There is no try, just do.
Oh,
That
gosh.
was my worst
I thought he was
Yoda.
here. I thought he
That
was
was my
here.
worst Yoda impersonation.
Well, some of the worse than mine.
I don't know what overcame me. So stop trying, do it. No, but really, it's
But it's true.
it's true. The thing is that with selling, there's so much stuff around what you're supposed to do to get a sale. You know, there's all of these scripts that we've learned and all of this, I don't want to be pushy stuff. And we really want, sales is almost a 4-letter word, for a lot of folks. And so what I want you to know is it doesn't actually have to be that way. It actually doesn't even work because people are too savvy to be taken in by scripts and tricks and things like that. What really works is for you to be truly authentic and learn how to have a very empowering conversation, which moves people into action.
Yeah. It's so simple.
Yes, and that's what I teach. And that's how I sell. It's how I teach. It's because I believe that you don't want every client on the block.
Mm-mm.
You don't want every person to be your client. You want the right clients. And so it's not about selling. It's really about interviewing and connecting and empowering them to make a choice. You've got this human in front of you. There's a life in front of you with a problem. The problem is severe enough that they decided to take time out of their day to talk to you. So empower that person to take action. Because if you have a great conversation and they don't do anything at the end of it, it was just a really nice conversation and it wasted 60 minutes of their life. So empower them to act. Learn how to do that and you will have an amazing business and you will be so fulfilled because you've got people that you're really making a difference with, whether they buy from you or not.
So can I ask a question related to that?
Yes, if it's okay with Molly.
Yes, okay. Yes, go. I'm good with it.
Okay, it's really quick. So I'm really good at getting people to get into action and to do the stuff. But so I think for my mind, as far as business, I'm already getting them to take action. How do I get them to take more action? That might be my hang up I'm going to have in my head.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And especially the initial action of saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that can be the hardest hurdle. The hardest hurdle can be when they see something's possible but it's a little scary, right? It can be a little scary to take that first step.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we have this event is to support you in actually learning that skill of being able to have these really powerful conversations with people. I can put some math to it. And what I'll show you is that when you grow, if you close, 10% more sales, you're going to make about 50% more money. And I don't have time to go into all the details on that. I'll show you at the event, but just an incremental growth in your skill level will give you about 50% more money. And it's 3 days to be at the training out of 365 in the year. It's like less than 1% of your year. Is that right? Is that less than 1% of your year. But most people won't take the time to get a little bit better. They'll hope for someday, they'll like, oh, eventually I'll get better. No, do it now.
Or they'll stay in that busy like we talked about. And in my masterclass now I talk about, which Amy Jones said, #busyballs. Like you create this there's this image that I have of all these clocks, like ball clocks, and they're all like busy, 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 busy. And it gets scary to step back and actually do this prep work underneath it. But that's what's going to help you to get to that next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it will make you a better coach too. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, and the thing is, like, if you're already coaching and effective as a coach, learning this way of having sales conversations it's almost seamless, I think. Right, Mal?
Yeah, well, and like I said, it helps me to actually, after my thing yesterday, I went to JD on the couch and I was like, Jennifer is so freaking awesome. And I said, I can't believe that I'm able to use her techniques like in life. And he was kind of not really totally paying attention. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to explain it to you because I'm going to use it on you. The next time, and he looked at me. I was like, and it turned into a really funny conversation. But it's like, even after, I will close with this, after going to your event and I came home and he said something and I just sat there and I was like, so tell me more about that. And he was like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm just listening to you. He was like, wait, what?
Wasn't used to it.
Yeah, so me letting him explain what's possible for him in any sort of situation, it's like improved our relationship, and it's just improved so much working with you. So thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, Linda, what would be possible for you if you were doing that new thing?
Oh, it's unlimited possibilities, and it's just figuring out what my packages are and stuff like that. So I'm working on that today. Yay! Excited.
Awesome.
And then being able to explain the difference between what you're already providing and for free, like with what you're doing value-wise, and knowing how to really help the people who already love you to see the possibility of actually investing in you and investing in themselves through you so that you can bring them to that next level, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at the event. Sold. No, just kidding. I know that's not the one.
Yay!
Life transformed.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see you in person.
It'll be amazing. We met in San Diego too, which is, I basically live in San Diego now. I've decided.
You might as well.
Down here.
I know.
You don't have to deal with all that traffic.
All right, Jennifer, thank you so much. Linda, thank you so much for coming on. Oh, Ping is here.
We have to tell them when it is, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. So let's if anybody knows that this has been yesterday, you guys, I did my master class that I do every once in a while. And I obviously, like I always do, I offered people the opportunity to join us in the Camera Confidence course. And I had a slideshow mishap, or my keynote mishap, and I never said the price.
Okay, so we should tell them. Okay, so
How?
The event Molly and I have been talking about, it is an advanced sales training. Okay, so if you're already selling well, this is the only time I do this advanced training in the entire year. So come to it. Linda, if you're already good, this is the one where you take yourself to the next level. Okay. If you're brand new, it will apply to you too, because we're really working with the inner game of selling, of clarity on what it is that you have to offer, on your relationship to the value of what you have. Okay. There'll be some communication pieces, but a lot of it is the inner game. So please, if you've taken other sales trainings or if you have scripts, this is what will turn the script into something that actually works. Because you have a different, mindset about it.
Yeah.
It's April 27th through 29th. Okay. It's 3 days. It's very workshop style. I like to have, the transformation happens while you're there. So it's not a bunch of information. It's not a bunch of speakers selling you bunches of stuff and then you go home and have homework. It's not about information. This is about transformation. April 27th through 29th, it's $997 are the event tickets. I'm not doing a bunch of free tickets because it's worth every penny at $997. Really, like I think that's the right thing to do. Because it has the right people, you're going to be in a room with other people who are serious about learning this material, not just hanging out for the networking and the free food. Okay. I have a deal for you through Molly. I made her a special event price and it's half off. Which we're very, very excited about. So she'll post the link.
It's amazing. And I put the little code. And then Jennifer, oh my gosh, Jennifer, for people who are on right now, were you going to do one more thing that we talked about?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So.
Is that your dog?
Now, and you.
That's mine. You can mute me.
Okay. How do you want to do this, Molly? Because for people that register before this video is over, or what are you doing?
How do you want it? Well, now we're talking about ending right now. So how do you want? Do you want to say we have like an hour from now?
Yeah. Because that'll give you time to go to the page. So
yeah.
So it is within the next
by noon Pacific.
By noon Pacific, it's I'm going to do a private call with me. You can have a private call with me, and we'll work on that. Whatever that one piece is, we'll do it before you even get to the event, so you can get that much more out of the event.
Which is crazy that you're doing that. I am so grateful. Yeah, thank you. And Kelly, I'll message you because I know you already have your stuff. So Kelly, we already talked about you because you're already committed to being there. So I'll send you a message. Don't worry if you're still here.
Yeah, we'll take care of you, Kelly.
Yeah, because you're a super action taker by doing it before this even happened.
Yeah. So the code, Molly, you have the code.
Yeah, I put it in the description above the video already. But yeah, everything is there in the comments and above. But if you comment below and said you want it, which some people did, I'll make sure I message you as soon as we're done, so you get all the information.
Yeah, because you want to get it in before noon Pacific, so you can get the free private call with me, which I don't offer anywhere else. But it's like
it's worth $1 million because, like I said, instantly. I mean, within you shifted everything for me. So
yeah, it's actually a coaching call. I will say that it's actually a coaching call. It's not a strategy session to upsell you into anything. It's actually a coaching call. All right, so just so you know what we're doing. Awesome value. My hours are. Said,
I'm so stinking excited. I hope to meet you all in person there. Yay!
All right.
Super cool. Okay.
That's all I got, babe.
Oh, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being here and for working with people individually too to help them to really see the value that they have so they can go out into the world and make more amazingness happen. You
are welcome.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. Linda, thank you. Will, thank you. I have your volume on. I'm turning it on. Okay, now your volume's on.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And the feedback's wonderful. And I can't wait till the event.
Yay. Can't wait to give you real hugs. Okay, thank you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
We're still on. Hold on. Okay.